Hey everybody, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel. I am filming a video today, a makeup tutorial, and it's focused on the Anastasia Subculture Palette, which everybody has been talking about. Some people are really disappointed with it, and some people really like it. I would say I really like it. A lot of people were mentioning how powdery it is, some of the shades and stuff, and it's true, some of them really are powdery. You can even see in my palette how some of them are kind of looking like just a lot of powder everywhere. But I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it might just be their formula, like that's just how it is, because they're really pigmented, so that might have something to do with it. But anyway, I did the whole look, my eye look, with that palette. And I just really like the colors. I think it's perfect for fall, and as you can see, my face looks very fall-like. This kind of turned into more of a fall look than summer. But yeah, if you are excited for fall like I am, and you want to see how this palette, you know, looks and how I like it and how I get this look, then just keep on watching. As probably a lot of you know, this is like a pretty controversial palette. I honestly don't know why. I mean, a lot of people were claiming that it was super powdery, and there's a lot of videos where people are touching it and it's like falling apart. I did notice, like, I tried a little bit of it yesterday and it was a little bit more powdery than a lot of products that I've used, but nothing like crazy, like I couldn't deal with. Like, it doesn't bother me that much, so I just really liked the colors so much that I just decided to go for it. So I'm going to do a look with these colors. This is what they look like. And I don't really have anything planned. I'm just going to kind of go for it. So yeah, so here we go. I'm just going to start by putting a little bit of a base on my eyelid. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Fair. I just like to use this as a an eyeshadow base. I think it's a really good one. It's really opaque, and it really like has something for your eyeshadow to stick to really well. It really just cancels out anything uneven on your eyelid. So you can probably see the difference between this one and this one. So I don't have any face products on right now. I'm going to do my eyes first. So in case you're wondering why my skin looks so bare, that is why. Okay, so I'm gonna, it also comes with this little brush in here, so I'm gonna use this brush because it actually is pretty nice. I'm just gonna start with something kind of safe. I'm gonna use this Dawn color right here, which is, it looks really light in the camera, but it's kind of a skin color, like a peachy skin color. It's almost like my skin color, actually. So I'm going to see, it is very powdery. I just dipped my brush into it and it kind of does get a little messy, but I think we'll survive. So I'm going to put this in the crease first. Yeah, it's much darker than how it looks in the pan, so that's interesting. And I'm using the fluffy side of this brush, this one. I'm thinking that these are just like the formula. Like, they, even though they are really powdery, they're really, really pigmented. Like, I don't know, it must be just like they kind of have to be like that. Like, because they are so pigmented, maybe that's just the formula. Like, I don't know. But I really like this color, actually. Okay, next I think I'm going to go in with this color Mercury. It's kind of like a gray brown over here. Fine. Just to add a little more depth in the crease. And then I'll blend with, I'm going to use All Star, which is kind of like a burgundy color. And I'm going to use the little flat side again. And part right here. Is like a really sparkly copper. So we'll see how this looks. I'm going to put it on the center of my lid. Wow, this almost seems like it has like a creamy texture when you put the brush in it, but then it's not really. Wow, it's really pretty. Our color, which is the burgundy color, and I'm going to put this on the inner kind of crease part too, or the inner lid, yeah, not inner crease. And then kind of retouch up the other side. And then I'm going to use the fluffy side to kind of blend the middle color and the side colors. And then I think I'm also going to go in the crease a little bit with the same burgundy color, just so everything kind of goes together. And then blend it. I'm going to use that copper color on my lid just to really emphasize it. I'm going to try it with my finger just to see how it applies differently. It kind of does go on a lot more like foiled metal almost when you use your finger. Maybe you're meant to use your finger, I think, actually. That's really pretty. So for foundation, I haven't really been using foundation anymore. I just use a concealer, and I use the Glossier Stretch Concealer, and the color I use is light. And I just use like a beauty blender. I don't even get it wet because this is such a sheer product that when you use like a damp beauty blender, it kind of shears it out even more. So if I want any coverage, I use like a more non-damp beauty blender. So I just dip it in, and I really just go areas that I need some coverage. Of course, I go under my eyes, and if I have any fallout from when I do the under eye part of the eyeshadow, I can still fix it up later. But I really noticed like doing just this instead of like all over foundation has helped my skin a lot. Like I really don't have any breakouts anymore, so I think it could have been wearing too much foundation or something like that. I don't know, but honestly this works for me. It is a really nice kind of dewy coverage when I do this, which I really like, and I kind of like seeing my skin too. I don't think it has to be perfect. I only have just this concealer on in certain areas. It never like wears off really badly where it's like you can see where it's wearing off and stuff. It just looks like my skin, and it doesn't really look red or anything. It just looks like a nice version of my skin basically. But if you are going to use this method of just using concealer instead of foundation, I would definitely use one that's like this texture, that's more thin and sheer, because if you use a really opaque concealer like the Tarte one like this, you're going to really see the difference between where you concealed and your actual skin. So that's why one like this is better, because it'll just kind of, you can still see your natural skin under it, but it still kind of evens it out. so it blends in with your actual skin really well without it being like an obvious opaque concealer area, if that makes sense. Okay, and then I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm using Boy Brows Brow Gel in black. I've been really liking just like not filling in my eyebrows but just using brow gel. I feel like it looks a lot more, I don't know, interesting. I feel like it's just too much when you have like a really dramatic eye look with like really bold eyebrows. I just think it's too much, so I kind of like to balance it. Okay, and then before we move back to the eyes, I'm going to use, I also got this new palette from Kat Von D, and it is the Shade and Light Eye Palette. Oh yeah, another thing I do, just so, before I use that, I use a little bit of translucent powder. I use the Laura Mercier one. I basically just put this on the areas that I'm going to like put any powder, like contouring, or sometimes I put it in the T-zone just so I don't get too oily. And this is just so it's easier for the contour color to blend in rather than looking kind of blotchy. So I kind of just go like around my nose too. Okay, so back to this. This is the Shade and Light Eye Contour Palette, but I'm going to use this middle color on top as my contour. And I haven't used it yet, so this will be like a first impressions. It might not even turn out good. But I just thought it might work well on me because I'm so white that this kind of grayish brown color might look like a realistic contour color. We'll see. I might be completely wrong. So this is the color Lazarus. I haven't even put anything on it. Right? I'm going to use a different brush. I'm using this BH Cosmetics number 114. Yeah, that looks more realistic on me, to be honest. So what I was going to do with this palette was I was going to use one of the lighter shades for my brow bone, so it's not too glittery, because I already have a lot of shimmer going on. So I'm going to put the color Succubus, which is like this. It's kind of an ivory color. It's not as white as this one. I'm just going to use my finger too. Okay, so we are going to go back to the Subculture palette. For the bottom eye look part, I'm going to actually first, before I use the palette, I'm going to use a black pencil in my waterline. Use MAC Smolder Eye Kohl pencil. I am going to use the All-Star color again, the burgundy, and the smaller side. And I'm going to kind of blend that bottom part. Okay, and then I'm going to use the Dawn color that I used originally on the fluffier side. And I'm going to blend this too with it, just so it's not as crazy and it kind of tapers off and blends out. Instead of doing a winged eyeliner, I'm going to use one of the eyeshadow colors, and I'm going to use my Artis little kind of liner brush. So I'm going to use this dark color called Rowdy. It's like a deep plum color. Just a little bit. Then I'm going to blend just a little more, just to make sure everything's nice and blended out. Now I'm going to actually just touch up a little bit with my concealer just to make sure nothing is all over my face or my under eye area. Nothing fell out too bad actually, so that's good. But I'm just going to clean up anyway. Using some mascara, I'm using L'Oreal's Lash Paradise. This is a really good mascara. I think this is probably my new favorite mascara. Okay, and then for my blush, I'm going to use, let's see, I think I'm going to use this Tarte one. This is actually a sample size, but it's Party. This is like a perfect nude pink color. Like it looks just really like a really light flush of color, which I really like because it kind of goes with like every look that you do or that I do. And then I'm going to use my MAC highlighter in Soft and Gentle. Looks like this. And I might use a little bit of this in the inner corner too. I just love this as an inner corner highlight. Two options for lips. I think either of these would be like perfect. They're actually almost exactly the same color. One is Urban Decay's lipstick in 1993, so it's like a really like brown 90s color. Or I might use the ColourPop Color Liquid Lipstick in Beeper, which is this color. I don't know which one I want to use. I will swatch them and see. Same. Not really. This one's more of a purpley undertone. I think I'm going to go with the ColourPop one. I think it just matches more with this look. So obviously this look turned into a very fall-like look, which I think I'm basically ready for fall at this point, as you can tell. But yes, that's the look. I'll zoom in so you can see. So that is the look, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know how you like this palette. I know it's very controversial, but so far I like it. It is a little powdery, but I don't really mind it that much, so I will still use it. And I'm not going to return it because I really like the colors. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and please subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye!